Okay, we're back. We will continue our series of Vulnhub. The virtual machine would be Linux 1. I will put the link into the description section below so that you can download this virtual machine. Before we begin today's video, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate your help and support. So now, without further ado, let's just get started. To save time, I have already imported this virtual machine image into the VMware workstation as instructed by the author. Yeah, it's VMware based. I don't know if it works on VB, VirtualBox. You can test it if you want. So now we can go into the Kali Linux. I have already identified the IP address of the virtual machine as 179. And then I did the NMAP scanning, and this is the output of the NMAP scanning results. As you can see, the two open ports. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service, and also the actual version information as always. And we know that this version doesn't have any vulnerability. And the second one is 80, which is running HTTP service and also the actual version information, which is Apache 2. I think the Apache 2 itself doesn't have vulnerability for our or to our advantages in this context. So what we are going to do next is to do some enumeration for the 80 port. Now let's open up the browser, put the IP address of the target. Yeah, very simple page. And also you can check the source code of this page. But there is one comment which says, don't waste your time looking into source codes or robots file. Actually, focus on real stuff. It's okay, which is fine. And then we can use the Ligato to do some furthermore enumeration. As you know, Ligato is one of my favorite tools when I do the web application enumeration. This is the first tool I'd like to use during this enumeration stage or recurrence stage. So wait for this to be completed to see whether we can get some information, I mean the interesting information about the application. But so far, nothing's interesting here. Just icons, very standard directory, and allowed HTTP methods. Nothing special at all. And also server, yeah, nothing useful. So I think now we need to use the GoBuster. This is my second tool. Personally, I do the web application enumeration, especially the direct enumeration. The GoBuster is my second option or tool. And I'd like to auto-complete this command. Yeah, immediately we got another file, which is key.php. And we can access this file. And here we need to enter the key, but we didn't get the key yet, right? And we can submit, like we can open up the inspector and inspect and go to the network tab to see what's going on behind this this post form. For example, we can put the one and submit. And we got the post and the request information and the response, but nothing new response. returned from the virtual machine. So maybe we can try if this field of a post exists, the SQL injection vulnerability, if we assume that the background is running the relational database like MySQL. So we can use the one or, and we can try that and submit, but nothing different returned from the target. And also we can use the Burp Suite, can set the proxy to Burp and use the Burp Suite to intercept the request and use the SQL map to test whether this field has SQL injection vulnerability. But I can tell you, when I did this virtual machine the first time, nothing found. So to save time, I'd like to cancel. If you want, you can try it by yourself. So what can we do? And also, maybe you can try some other word list to see whether we can find more files or new files or directories. But I can tell you, you will not succeed in that. So as I said, we cannot rely on the single tool when we do the penetration testing. For example, like web application enumeration. For example, we can use the dep and also the dear search. But this time we need to use the NMAP. You know, NMAP is cannot only do the port scan and identify the surface or operating system, also can provide a more advanced scanning with script. And this time we need to use the HTTP enumeration script. We can check. Yeah, you know, for the HTTP service, there's so many scripts which can be running with a map. Yeah. And this time we can use this one. So how to do? We just sudo nmap. Yeah. And this is the option. And this is the script name. http-enum. And the IP address of the target. Let's hit enter. Yeah, as you can see, this tool has already not to nmap. This script has enumerated out very one file with very long file name in length, and we cannot use the standard or normal word list to identify or locate this file. So I think this step is very, very important for this virtual machine. And now we can copy, because the file name is so long, and paste in here. As you can see, this is the private key, and we can check the source code. And so this we can make a copy and create the private key file and paste in here, and write and quit. And we need to change privilege to 400. And now, so what about the username? As you can see, as you can notice in the source code, the title information give us a hint. This may be or possibly the username, and we can make a copy and SSH I'd like to autocomplete this line. As you can see, we have successfully logged in to the target via SSH, and we can check the ID, and we can get the user flag here. And then we need to do some local enumeration. The next step would be to elevate our privilege to root user, as you know. And we can get the bash. And also we can check the version. Yeah, it's a bit updated version. And then we can check the sudo list. As you can see, we can run the command, the GCC. And now I think we can utilize the command of GCC. This is a very, very popular command or tool when we compile the C file. And let's go to the bin search and search GTF obins. This website is very, very useful and important when we do the local privilege escalation. And now we can put the command of GCC and go to the sudo section directory, and we can make a copy of this part and then go back to our terminal, sudo, and use bin GCC and paste in here. As you can see from the banner, we have already switched or elevated our shell to the root user. We can navigate to home directory of root user, and we can get the root flag here. But nothing. This is, the file size is 0, but anyway, we have already got the root shell and get the root flag here. Okay, so that's all I'd like to go through this virtual machine. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.